Sheryl Swoopes, she can't not try to light a fire involving Caitlin Clark. She can't just be good. She's trolling Caitlin Clark again, this time by celebrating the arrival of Paige Bueckers.
With that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that player said it.
Okay.
Right?
Sheryl Swoopes' most recent move was loud and silent. She arrived wearing a Paige Bueckers t-shirt, not to honor a rising star, but to make another slam dunk at Caitlin Clark. This isn't the first time Swoopes has gone out of her way to disparage Caitlin, and let's face it, it won't be the last time.
Like, they will recognize, her game, but they won't recognize her impact.
Because some people who used to dominate the spotlight get more uneasy the more Clark shines.
Everybody now has an opportunity to pull up their chair and have a...
Instead of motivating the next generation, Swoopes keeps playing cruel games in the hopes that no one will notice the trend, but we do.
We saw her get replaced during the Fever game for the Dallas Wings commentary team last year because of words and the hate she had towards Caitlin Clark. And it was just one thing after another. I said yesterday, even Stephen A. Smith crushed her last year.
This isn't about Paige. Rather, it's about promoting a story that doesn't fit with Caitlin Clark's.
Because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
With performances that broke records, Caitlin earned her spot. Real impact and hustling, not politics or drama.
Caitlin is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA.
Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? We don't get to decide that. The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlin Clark.
What is she doing wrong? What more do you want from Caitlin Clark? Seriously, what more do you want from her? She's focusing on the game. She lifted her team up, got them to the playoffs, won Rookie of the Year, and then also is denouncing racial tensions when she's asked about it. I'm sorry, I don't see anything more that Caitlin Clark should have done or could have done.
Legends acting like gatekeepers isn't just petulant. This is intentional, and we won't fall for it. If you agree with Caitlin Clark, then flood the comments with CC100.
She was remarkable on top of the fact that she had to deal with so much hate when she got to the WM.
Let's not act like this is Sheryl's first time. It's hard to overlook the fact that Swoopes has been targeting Caitlin Clark for more than a year. This isn't a single remark or misconstrued viewpoint. Rather, it's a consistent pattern of insults, dismissals, and outright contempt that began long before Caitlin even participated in a WNBA game.
I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't.
Swoopes has been trying to minimize Caitlin's rise at every opportunity, from disparaging her impact on the league to side-eyeing Clark's college success. For example, she tried to minimize Caitlin's hype during last year's NCAA tournament or was removed from commentary duties due to her anti-Clark stance. Even Stephen A. Smith had to intervene and call her out for not giving Caitlin the credit she deserves.
It was a stupid decision because it compromises what your ultimate goal is, which is to elevate the WNBA brand.
That is not an oversight. Rather, it is an agenda, and when your prejudice becomes so obvious that networks begin to turn away from you, it indicates that what we are witnessing is not merely personal. Rather, it is a calculated move. She is a member of the traditional WNBA circle and is aware of exactly what she is doing. Caitlin was viewed as a danger to the league's heritage rather than its future, and her arrival rocked the foundation by setting records and attracting more attention to the WNBA than it had in years.
Right, and that's what a lot of these women are doing, is they feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry.
This is about control now, not basketball. Caitlyn's success is rewriting the story, and Swoopes can't bear not being in charge. And let's not forget the numbers. It's not a knock. The statistics show that Caitlyn's rookie year was superior to Swoopes' whole MVP season.
Wake up and be mad. Never forget, in Swoopes' MVP season, she averaged less points, assists, and rebounds than Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Caitlin Clark's rookie year was quite a bit better than Sheryl Swoopes' MVP season.
Therefore, Swoopes is holding on to it as if it were her final chance at significance rather than passing the torch. Every backhanded remark and public insult is. It's not about criticism. Rather, it's about influence, and there's no better way to maintain your popularity than to poke the player while everyone is looking.
Oh, Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was given.
So yes, the WNBA was growing before Caitlin Clark. Make that abundantly clear. But it was growing incrementally compared to the exponential growth you're seeing now.
Wearing a Paige Bueckers t-shirt during Sheryl Swoopes' appearance on Gilbert Arenas' podcast was more than simply a style choice. It made a statement.
Hey, what are you doing? Look at this. Just stays, man. Were y'all talking about Caitlin Clark at this very moment? She knows what she's doing.
And not the innocent type. On the surface, it might have appeared like she was giving love to a young, gifted baller who is just starting out in the league, but everyone who has been following this saga knows it was anything but. Swoopes is sending Caitlin Clark and her followers a coded message that reads, "Look, I'm still down with white players, but not you. I don't support you."
Now, I've got a theory. Oh, look at me. I'm not really racist because I'm wearing the white girl's shirt. You see that? But the girl from the Midwest, y'all just happen to hate her completely.
Let's be honest, Sheryl. People quickly saw through a stunt dressed in cotton. Swoopes has never had an issue with Paige Bueckers, so why would she want to associate with someone who fits the mold that many others in the WNBA inner circle find comfortable?
The only problem with this is, and this has been the problem the whole time with the Paige-Caitlin comparison, Paige is an activist basketball player just like these old WNBA players that's been in the league. All right? They're shilling she's all up in all the social stuff. And so that's why they're letting her in. That's why they're cool with her.
Politically engaged, she has embraced causes, leaned into activism, and checked all the boxes that make her acceptable to the same individuals who regularly criticize her because she is socially aligned and secure within the ideological bubble that the league's old guard loves to defend.
Caitlin. The reason that Caitlin Clark is getting all of this attention is because she is an anomaly. She is a phenomenal player. And Paige Bueckers is also a phenomenal player, but it just isn't the same. She doesn't do the same things. She doesn't do the things that have never been seen.
They believe Paige to be the ideal celebrity, but Caitlin is bold enough to be unique. She is from Iowa and is quiet about politics, letting her game speak for itself. Her stubbornness to compromise makes her a target if.
I was the WNBA. I would have considered a separate television package to a network on just Caitlin Clark games. I would have had two packages, the WNBA package, and then a separate, let's say 15 to 18 game Caitlin Clark package.
They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
And for Caitlin Clark to have the awareness to drive the eyeballs there, you have to give her so much credit.
Swoopes is attempting to use Paige to make fun of Caitlin without mentioning her name when she dons that Paige Bueckers tee. Not because she has suddenly become a huge fan.
I've known Sheryl since she was in college. I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first ESPYs. I've known Sheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her. I called her when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed, that there was this quote by Sheryl that said, Caitlin was, 25 years old. She was, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. Right. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were illegitimate.
The comparison game has been used for centuries to pit women against one another and cover up the hatred with a smile. But what makes this one so egregious is that it's not even subtle anymore. Instead, Swoopes is hoping that people will overlook her past hostility and conclude, oh, look, she's just supporting a young player. However, context is important, and this setting begs for gaslighting and deception.
Two things. I think it has to show up in our storytelling, and it has to be encouraged by our families.
Yeah.
To me, right? And so covering the WNBA this past season, Caitlin Clark's rookie year, for all of the conversation that surrounded her, some which was fair and some which wasn't, the one thing that I cannot deny is the amount of little girls that were showing up to follow her. Little girls with their parents and the fervor and the energy there.
Why her?
Same thing.
Why her?
Well, in the end, Paige Bueckers should be honored for her own accomplishments rather than being used as a pawn in someone else's scheme.
We want to see Caitlin Clark and we want to see Paige Bueckers.
Caitlin scored more points per game, but Paige was more efficient.
The true issue is that Caitlin Clark is already surpassing almost all WNBA players, current and former, in terms of influence ratings and fan interaction, and Swoopes doesn't want to deal with that.
Points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Fever history. The first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game.
Therefore, rather than admitting that reality, she hides behind a t-shirt in the hopes that no one would notice the pattern. However, we do notice, and more significantly, we remember, because the jealousy becomes more difficult to conceal and the bitterness grows louder every time Caitlin sets a new record or draws a sold-out crowd.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT!
She signed my jersey! I'm so happy, I'm crying, I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
She just brings so much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come and see her.
It is no secret that the Indiana Fever are the most popular team in the WNBA. It is good for the entire WNBA.
Let's stop covering it with sugar at this point. Caitlin Clark's skill and attitude aren't the reason Sheryl Swoopes is mocking her. Rather, it's because of what Clark did during her rookie season. People care about things that others couldn't handle in 10 years. Even the most casual sports fans were compelled to pay attention to the WNBA after Caitlin packed arenas and set attendance records.
What happened is Caitlin Clark, in her sophomore year and really in her junior year, just started excelling and doing things that nobody had ever seen a female basketball player do. Like, nobody had consistently been shooting these from the logo passes.
And this is the reality that none of the old guard wants to acknowledge. The reason why someone like Swoopes, who previously contributed to the creation of the league, now looks intent on destroying the person who brought it back to life, is that Caitlin Clark has grown larger than the league itself, which terrifies individuals and disturbs their sense of place, legacy, and control.
So many players who cite you as an inspiration for their games, including Caitlin Clark, who's just absolutely a phenomenon in college. What's that next step like for her?
You know, next steps, gosh, in this generation, right? You have, I think, just so many more challenges of how to handle yourself as an adult, right? You go through that whirlwind of being a senior in college, transitioning into the W. And then the next step is how to become just an even better leader. And so much of leadership, I think, is listening and learning. And hopefully the more she can get connected to vets in the league and just different people and coaches and anyone that she can glean wisdom from of how to just continue to learn how to be as a connected and inspiring leader as she can be. And a lot of that is walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So she's already on her way, but, continuing to have fun, continuing to anticipate how people are going to try to stop her and being prepared as she can be for next season.
This is more than simply a basketball feud. It's a generational, political, and cultural issue since Caitlin Clark doesn't conform to the WNBA's. Her long-protected narrative has suggested that she isn't vocal about social issues, doesn't favor identity politics, and doesn't seek media or legacy players' praise. Instead, she plays, wins, and leads.
I remember when the WNBA started. I was thrilled. I was a fan. I couldn't believe it was an opportunity for me, a 5'2", 97-pound girl, to go play professional basketball. That wasn't going to happen for me, but the idea that it existed was special to me. And now she's offering that to not just little girls, but little boys as well. She's spread the fan base. So
she won Rookie of the Month 4 times, Eastern Conference Player of the Week 3 times, single-season rookie record for assists, single-season rookie record for three-pointers, single-game record for assists, 19, franchise record for most double-doubles, three-pointers, career 10 or more assists in a game, franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game. Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 three-pointers. She did it in 34 games, most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game, for which she received the most fan votes ever, 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season, regardless of years in the league. People will say, pay more attention to the other folks. Like, she couldn't do it herself. You know, LeBron has teammates, Jordan had teammates. I understand.
Because she poses a threat not only to Swoopes' ego, but also to an entire ecosystem that is based on deciding who gets to shine and who doesn't. When someone defies that mold, the system reacts violently. Just observe how every move she makes is scrutinized, passes she makes are questioned, fouls she draws are discussed, and the praise she receives is branded as favoritism, while other rookies make mistakes, lose games, or draw criticism and receive nothing but silence. Why the double standard? It is inconvenient to succeed. It reminds the league's gatekeepers that pure, unquestionable skill still speaks louder than politics, which they cannot deny or conceal. And let's talk statistics. It also reminds them that someone from outside the club, someone they didn't anoint, may still take the championship. Not only is Caitlin Clark a fantastic player, but she is also a movement. And that movement is made up of fans from all walks of life, many of whom disagree with the politics the league promotes. This fan base makes the media uncomfortable and makes players like her. Clark's rookie numbers are historic, surpassing legends, changing expectations, and garnering widespread media coverage. Swoopes makes them uncomfortable, so rather than embracing the situation and changing, they dig in their heels and become defensive, trying to control the narrative to portray Clark as the issue when in reality, she represents the advancement they say they desire.
Angel Reese is never going to improve her basketball skills. Check this out.
I see her miss layups just like they do and everything, but forget them. You know, I mean, I miss layups too. So, I mean,
everybody miss layups, but they can't get mad if I get the rebound. Box me out.
Yeah. Don't be mad because your fade didn't box her out. That's what I say. Period.
I see your miss layups like they do, but forget them. What the fuck do you mean forget them? This is why Angel Reese's game is never going to get better, y'all. Her mom telling her this and her fans are the same exact way. Zero accountability, bro. Imagine this, y'all. You playing basketball in front of the whole world. People have been constantly criticizing your game and you messing up on the court. There's all this film and everything about what you need to do better and what you're messing up on. And your mom is just sitting here telling you, well, forget them. Just forget them, bro. Like, that's terrible advice. Like we see why Angel Reese is the way that she is. Man, look at how her mom is just talking to her, telling her just forget them, bro. But then y'all are so mad that the world doesn't like her and talk so much shit about her, bro.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, everybody misses layups. I'm so tired of this everybody misses layups thing. Yes. A whole bunch of basketball players miss layups, but people are not missing layups like Angel Reese, bro.
Fact.
Statistically the worst finisher in the league. So that means you're last and at the bottom. So that means you're the worst and nobody is missing like you are. God, this is not rocket science. Angel Reese GPA holders, bro. This is not rocket science, man. This is amazing. Y'all just cannot keep it real with this girl, bro. That's why she looks like an unrivaled. That clip that just came out with her getting blocked by Breanna Stewart like 3 times or something, and then she finally made this shot, bro. That's why her game looks like it is not even improved. at all, man. And then the whole, you gotta box me out to get the, bro, you should be making the shot, bro. Instead of sitting up here talking about, people aren't boxing you out and all of this bullshit. Like, if you make the shot, bro, we wouldn't be even sitting up here talking about these whole rebounds and over and that bullshit, man. But it's crazy, bro. It's crazy I came across that clip. I just saw somebody post it today, and I'm like, damn, bro. No wonder this girl does not take accountability.
However, this is what they don't comprehend. In the end, this isn't about who's more woke or who checks more boxes, so Caitlin Clark doesn't need their approval, their validation, or even to change who she is to fit into their box. The more they despise her, the more her fans appear, the more they disparage her, and the more her game silences them. It all comes down to who delivers, and Caitlin Clark delivers both on the court, at the box office, and in every discussion about the future of women's basketball. So let them argue, wear shirts, and make sarcastic podcast appearances because, despite their attempts to uphold outdated narratives, Caitlin is rewriting history with grace, talent, and power that they simply cannot control. Here we are once again witnessing yet another failed attempt to minimize Caitlin Clark's legacy by bringing up irrelevant names and creating drama for clicks and clout. Sheryl Swoopes has made her position clear, not through careful analysis or fair criticism, but by grabbing at headlines and turning sports commentary into personal grudges. The issue is that you don't empower one woman by pulling down another. It's just attesting high heels. Wearing a Paige Bueckers shirt on a podcast isn't subtle. It's a billboard-sized attack disguised as sisterhood.
Almost felt like marketers were trying to figure out, like, yeah, we have all of these amazing players and these amazing personalities, but can we push the demographic? And then when Caitlin Clark got to the league, the Angel Reeses got to the league, and they might have been fouled hard. The same thing I saw happen with Shamika Holsclaw, though.
You see my tooth knocked out?
Yeah,
Rookie season, Jewel Lloyd. My tooth knocked out. I still didn't get it.
So how do you?
It's cool.
T-Clark, how do you feel about the fact that all of a sudden it was, oh, it's too physical. Oh, they're going at him because they're stars. What was your reaction to some of the new viewers and fans to the game thinking that the WNBA was too rough?
It was a crazy season because we have never had so much momentum behind our league, so much support, demand, viewership, all that, accessibility. But the craziness that came with the new fandom was rooted in something other than fandom, right? And I think that's very evident to see across the board. In a lot of ways, it has not been about basketball. Like, we can talk about, you know, people getting fouled. I just showed you my tooth getting knocked out. Like, that's been a part of the game. The game has always been physical. I can tell you the amount of times I've left with bloody lips and eyes. I have bruises all over my body, even from the game last night. You can see bruises on my elbow from last night. Like, it's just a part of the game. So there was no targeting. There was no nothing. Right. That narrative that got spun into, oh, the vets hate the rookies hate the vets are going after certain players. It's all bullshit. Like, if I'm just gonna be frank, it's all bullshit. What it is racism, right? It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark, but no, we're just playing one of the best players that's in this league the way that any other best player, franchise player is gonna get played. Watch how Stewie gets played, watch how Asia gets played, watch how Enrique gets played, watch how Khalid gets played. Go down the list of franchise players for every team. They be getting fucked up every game. It don't matter what position you are, what color you are, what school you came out of. This is how we feed our families. Our job is to go and win, and if we don't win, what happens? We get fired, we lose our jobs. So.
Caitlin Clark has accomplished something uncommon in sports. She has brought together supporters from all political backgrounds, young Iowan girls who now think they can dominate the league, and older fans who haven't attended a WNBA game in years, but now remind themselves to do so since she has dominated rookies. When Swoopes or anyone else tries to change the story, it only serves to highlight how profoundly Clark's success has shaken the old guard. Rather than adapting, they attack rather than mentor, mocking, but Caitlin isn't slowing down every time someone tries to disparage her. She lets her game do the talking, which is why she keeps winning, why her name trends without her even speaking, and why these pointless attempts to undermine her relevance by dragging other players won't work because Paige Bueckers is incredibly talented, and her time will come But her name shouldn't be used as a pawn in some depressing campaign to discredit Clark, because we, the fans, and most importantly, Caitlin Clark, are already 10 steps ahead. For those who are still hoping to undermine her success through stage symbolism or silent protest, here's the news. The game has changed, and Caitlin Clark is.